The top 5 nominees have been revealed and ticket sales to the award show have started. And every year, I worry we're going to do these awards in front of an empty ballroom.
I hope that's not the case because I don't need you paying for all these awards out of my paycheck.
It's showtime. This is The Ski Show, the ultimate show ski podcast, and your one and only source for all things show skiing, bringing you news, knowledge, and interviews with the legends and stars of our sport. Here are your hosts, Matt Heilman and Adam Schaller.
Welcome to The Ski Show, cruising into the month of December with 2 more episodes left in our 2024 season. It's been a fantastic year, and we have a couple of more really good episodes before we turn the page to 2025. Today we have someone that needs to be celebrated for her huge 2024 season, and that's Faith Dix.
Today's episode is brought to you by the World Water Ski Show Tournament. You heard that right. Worlds is in Australia, and they want you to make the trek to Moala to enjoy the tournament and support your team. Consider making the trip. We're sure you won't regret it. And today's episode is also sponsored by Flyman Skis, custom-made jump skis, and featherboard swivel skis at affordable prices. Get yours at flymanskis.com.
Yeah, fun new sponsor today. Can't wait to hear from the World Show Ski Tournament. That'll be good. They have a fun little ad coming our way here. As we mentioned too, Adam, at the opening, the top 5 nominees have been revealed. If you're listening and haven't seen them yet, you've been living under a rock. It's been everywhere. We had our live stream. It's all over social media. All of the top 5 nominees, graphics you've probably seen. It's gone, we had hundreds of viewers, thousands of social media views, and it's an exciting time. It's really a fantastic time for show skiing. Show skiing's in an awesome place right now, and it's always exciting to see the top 5 nominees, the excitement behind them, the honor of being nominated. It's really a cool time.
Yeah, I mean, we're generating excitement, and that's what it's all about because it's the off season for a lot of us, and it's time to start thinking about next season, and what a way to do that by, introducing the top 5 nominees. I can't believe it's December already, so it's going to be end of February here for the award show, just like that, and everybody's excited.
Yeah, and people have told us in the past that the top 5 nominee announcement is often more important than the actual winning of the award, because just for some people, being nominated in a category, setting a goal for that, seeing your name alongside your peers is super cool. So it's an exciting time. Tickets are on sale now for the award show and for Think Tank. You can go to thinktankwi.com and get your tickets to the award show and Think Tank. Last year, Adam, we had 368 people attend the award show. We've been going 3 years, and we've had a steady climb in our attendance. The goal this year, let's make it a goal to hit 400. Folks, if you've been there, you know what an incredible night it is. It's literally a show ski reunion. It's a celebration of the sport. It's a fantastic presentation of dozens and dozens of awards. It's a chance to dress up and hang out with your show ski family again. It's really a night that you don't want to miss.
Yeah, I don't know what else I can add to that other than, if we hit that 400 mark, that just means I'm going to have to be there a lot earlier to set up, because every year that we've set up, we've had to rearrange the room to accommodate for a bigger and bigger crowd, and we're going to start to push the limits, I think, on that ballroom.
I did hear, as a tangent here, so Riley was just at Chula Vista for a dance convention. They've remodeled the Starbucks area. So people are going to like that who are attending. The Starbucks is bigger, and in behind it now is like a grocery store, essentially. It's a mini shop, and they've got food. I mean, it makes sense with all the condos and the kitchen units that everybody has in their room. So that's all remodeled on that side on that side there at Chula Vista. So anyway, it's going to be a great weekend. We want to see you all there. We have just over 3 months to the awards show, and we are 3 months to the World Tournament, Adam. Just a little over 3 months. March is going to be here before we blink. It's crazy it's here that soon. And for this episode, as we mentioned, and our next episode, the World Show Ski Tournament wants you to consider making that journey to Australia for all the fun. Take in the tournament. And in classic Aussie style, we've got our friend Pete O'Neill. He is the tournament chair and part of the tournament hosts in Australia. And here's what they have to say.
G'day show skiers, we want to bring you down to the IWWF World Water Ski Show Championships, and not just any World Championships, the one that got cancelled and then postponed so long ago that half the Australian show skiers got busy and now have enough mini show skiers they could make their own team. Show skiing in Australia is excited, elated, ecstatic, but they're just fancy words starting with E to help us describe to you measure things in increments of 12 Americans what we mean when we say bloody oath I'm stoked cobber. So get on a plane and come down. I don't care if you're from New York baby, watch where you're walking! You might be from down south thinking, well I've already got a sweet home in Alabama. You could be in Florida telling your mate, I'm gonna see me some water ski. I'm gonna ride me a kangaroo. Though you're probably from Wisconsin feeling, Jeepers creepers, I couldn't possibly have me another cheese curd. Wherever you're from, we want you to come down. You can think of Australia as long white beaches, the opera house, good coffee, kangaroos, koalas and other weird animals as well as beer. Deliciously tasty beer. Served cold from both our clubhouse and on site as well as at almost everywhere else in town. And on top of that, there'll be amazing skiing. It is the World Championships after all, and the best of the best are coming to play. Now, if you think this was an odd ad and a bit hard to understand, then play it back. It is a podcast after all, and Matt and Adam surely won't mind you putting it into a lower gear. Actually, they're so stoked to be coming down that they've been practicing their Aussie accents, and here they are ready to show them off now.
G'day, mate. Throw another shrimp on the barbie.
Well done,
Anyway,
mate.
that was them, and if you can do better, worse, or the same, then get a plane ticket. One that has Australia as the destination, get on that plane. Once you land, enjoy a beer, grab some thongs, a singlet, and ride a kangaroo all the way to Mulwala. The 2025 IWWF World Water Ski Show Championships are going off like a bucket of prawns in the sun. It'll be as flash as a rat with a gold tooth. You know what I mean. It'll be a U-Butte bloody cracker, mate, and we want you to come see it live. March 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. This has been a message on behalf of the boat and looks like Jacob moving for the I want to see a double front party Canberra.
How awesome was that?
I really only caught two things out of that whole ad. That it's the World Water Ski Championships, and there's going to be beer.
A lot of beer.
Goodness.
Yeah, that's funny the way he threw in his accent and made fun of all of us here in the U.S.
That was awesome.
So great. Thanks, Pete, for that. And the World Tournament hosts. It is going to be awesome, people. So if you have the opportunity to make the journey there, don't miss it. The World Tournament is always a special time. So take a trip to Australia and see some kangaroos and drink some beer and watch some skiing. It'll be a good time. All right. As we've done, Adam, over the last few episodes, you and I each have a hot take. And something a little new. Could be something new, something controversial. Let's get on to today's hot takes. Adam, what do you have?
All right, my hot take today was sparked by listening to that ad that Pete O'Neill submitted to us. And my hot take is, I miss Team Australia. I mean, when's the last time they were at Worlds? 2018?
Yeah. I mean, 2020 when it was canceled, but they haven't competed since 2018.
They haven't competed since 2018. I miss Team Australia. They're funny. They're edgy. They're awesome water skiers, and they're entertaining as hell. And can't wait. I miss them.
One of my favorite social memories of Worlds, and you'll have to remind me if you were there or not, but it was in 2012 or 2014 in Janesville, and we had a social night at the farm implement place.
Yeah, that was 2012.
Yeah. And teams were doing seat press, beer chugging contests. The Aussies and Canadians and Belgians can party. They have fun. It was a good time, and I remember that vividly. It was a great night. So it started in 2012. We're on to Australia for 2025, and all right, that's your hot take. You missed Team Australia. Okay. That's
Matt, what's your hot take?
My hot take is more probably business-like than you would care, Adam, but it is about the registration process for nationals.
You're correct. I don't care.
You don't care. For teams and individuals, here's the deal. My hot take is that I believe registration should take place after regionals, okay, or at least in conjunction with, and here's why.
When does it take place now?
There's an arbitrary date, July 15th, entry forms are due. There's a separate entry for D1 and there's a separate entry for D2, so you have to declare which you're interested in competing in by July 15th. Here's the problem with that. After July 15th, there's still the Wisconsin region, the Midwest region, and the Eastern region haven't even competed yet.
So you don't even know if you qualified, and you have to register?
You don't even know, and so that's happened. So a team, let's say a team that's D1 Wisconsin State that thinks they're going to be 8th, 9th, or 10th place at state, like they just moved up from D2, and heck, we're not ready to compete at D1 yet, and they finished 5th place at Wisconsin State. They would qualify for D1, but if they didn't turn in an entry form by July 15th, they're not going to D1. That just seems messed up to me, right?
It's a little goofy.
Let's have a process where the best individuals and teams get selected and not have it be reliant on an entry form on an arbitrary date. I would like to see for the team events that regionals handle it. So your regional gets done, they submit a list of their top finishers to the national tournament chair. Teams don't even have to turn in an entry form. Okay? They just get their names submitted in order of finish to the national tournament chair. For individuals, how about one entry form for both D1 and D2, and it's got 3 check boxes? I intend to ski D1. I intend to ski D2. I will ski either one depending on where I qualify. One entry form.
Okay.
And then you go through the entry and seeding process. From there, you take the top finishers to D1, the next finishers to D2. I just think that there's a more systematic way for entry that can be done. I hate to see people have to rely on a certain date and turning in an entry form when what we're really looking for at nationals is the best teams and the best individuals to compete at nationals. And sometimes a team or an individual that doesn't think they're ready exceeds expectations at regionals and would in fact qualify, but they didn't turn in an entry form. And they would desire to compete had they known.
Yep.
And so my hot take is let's change the entry process. It will require a little more communication between regional reps and the D1 and D2 national tournament chairs. And yet I think it'll be better for competitors, teams, and individuals in the entry process. So there you go. That's my hot takes. That is this week's hot takes.
Very good. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
All right. Time to get to today's featured interview. We have a superstar, an overnight sensation, a skier who has come so far in the last 18 months. It's been impressive to see her rise. From starring in the Aqua Skiers show to skiing at SeaWorld in Australia to winning a World Barefoot Championship, she is one of the top female skiers in the sport. Let's welcome to the show, Faith Dix.
Hey, Faith, how are you?
Hello, it's good to be here.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, glad to have you.
All right, Faith, we are going to start off the way I start off every single interview of every skier we've ever had on the show. How did you get started in show skiing?
Well, I pretty much didn't have a choice, as I was kind of thrown into it with my parents since they met on the ski team. So I've just been known it all my life and don't know life without it and wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, there you go. No choice. You're in it to win it.
When did you start? Did you literally some of our guests before, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, you're in the Aqua Skiers show, you're hanging out at the ski site with your parents. How did that go as a young girl?
Yeah, so my first state was at 4 years old. I was just on the U-board, got the triple rig all to myself as part of the show. But yeah, I started when I was 2. And then we had taken a break from the team, actually. We were on the team as a family from 2006, and we took a break all the way until 2014 is when we joined again. So I didn't really start really pursuing the show skiing side until 2014. Like, we'd skied at home recreationally and everything throughout that time, but otherwise really pursuing show skiing, it wasn't until then.
So 10 good years. Yeah.
During that time off, from a skiing standpoint, what were you focusing on?
With that time off, pretty much just I was slaloming, like on the boom or long line. That was pretty much about all. I got a wakeboard, but just rode it, nothing crazy. But that was pretty much all.
And then you got back in it. So, like, thinking about the Aqua Skiers at that time, so it probably coincided with, there were some lean years there for the Aqua Skiers, and then a bunch of veterans like your parents and, Rich and Nicole came back for a while, and Sox and the Sox family, and they all got involved. And then you guys are all rolling with that. How has life been on the Aqua Skiers over the last 10 years for you? You've been back into it. Talk a little bit about the Aqua Skiers and your time there.
Yeah. So, I had gotten really small, and it was then like my parents, because them and their friends, they had all kind of left to then have kids. So then they all collectively at one time again, they're like, hey, the team's dying. We don't want to let this team die. Like, it's such an important part of our lives and part of the sport with hosting state and everything. So I got together and like, let's come back. So then that's when everyone decided to come back in 2014. And then, just throughout my time in the Aqua Skiers, it's been unreal. Like, I wouldn't trade that ski family for anything. Like, it's Aqua Skiers and nothing, it feels like, for me. I am actually going to be show director next year, so I'm fully throwing myself in now.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but
good for you.
There's definitely, thank you. There's definitely been ups and downs, though, like with team members, because we had gotten really big there in like 2018, 2019, and now we're starting to come back down again. And we've been down for the past couple of years, dropped back down into D2. But we kind of like it that way. We like sitting in the D2 area. Obviously, we'd always like more skiers for sure, but we're happy. Just have fun.
I'll tell you, as a fan of the Aqua Skiers, that we all are. We go to state, and everybody sort of becomes a de facto fan of the Aqua Skiers. We've watched that transition over the years, and it was super fun to see all those veterans come back. And when your family joined in 2014, 15, 16, it started to see those people back together on the water. That was when probably around the time when your dad and JT brought the Barefoot Pyramid home around the ramp. Were you ever in that act?
No, I was never in the Circle Barefoot Pyramid one. I did it when we had like 4 just Barefoot Pyramids come through. I did one of those at Nationals.
Got it.
But my sister was the one who was topping that. She lived for Barefoot Pyramids. That was her favorite act. Every year is convincing JT to do it again every year was her determination.
That's awesome.
Faith, tell us what acts are you in? Tell our audience, our listeners, what acts are you in the Aqua Skiers show?
It's going to be a long list here, Adam.
So this past season, I had a few back-to-back acts. So I was pretty much running the whole show. But I was in our opening back barefoot step line with my dad and sister, which is the biggest honor ever. That was probably the most amazing thing I've ever done, for sure. And then straight to gang foot front barefoot line, and then rip out of my suit straight into the beach start for ballet line, and then run from that. Couldn't even dance for ballet, had to leave again to then jump. We did our 10-man gang jump. I think we did 9 at state, 9-man gang jump. And then from there, ran straight to swivel line. And then from swivel line, I went to star swivel. And I had my first breather of the show, and then did my back circles.
Wow.
So you're pretty much in every act. Really. You could have just said that. I'm in every act. How did you tell us a little? Okay, so you ski in pretty much every act in the show. When did you start competing as a barefooter?
So I didn't really get into the 3-event barefoot world until end of 2021. So I'd gotten a job as a videographer at World Barefoot Center in September of 2021, and then that's when I started to rappel in that side of thing. I was always like interested in footing, but so coming into my job at WBC, my skill level was I could do a short line front deep and a long line step, and that was about the extent of that. And I was kind of happy with that. I was like, okay, like I can foot, but that's all right. But there, it was still a bit scary to me. So when I was moving there, I was like, oh boy, it's a little bit daunting coming with all the big dogs here. But they were very good at like taking me step by step and like helping keep my like fear aside and just like slowed everything down, which is really good. And then, so my first barefoot tournament was December of 2021.
So you went down there and did you have the intention of training to become a barefooter or just to go be a videographer and kind of live the water ski life down there?
Yeah, I pretty much just went to live a ski life. I had decided to not go to college. I went for a semester, but then decided to leave and figure out and pursue what I really wanted to do. So then this opportunity had come up, so I took it to pursue my photography and videography area. But then, yeah, I'd gotten just like skiing throughout the job, and it just started to flourish from there.
Wow. That's a pretty rapid rise, like from short line off the boom, and 4 years later, World Barefoot Championship. Like, holy smokes.
Yeah, so I actually won my
actually
first
amazing.
championship, and yeah, I won under 23 Worlds as well in 2023. So in February of 2023, I won.
So 2 years
as well. So that was
Jeez.
about a year and a half. Yeah.
2 years in a row. Let's say that again for our audience. 2 years in a row, you've been under 23 women's back-to-back world barefoot champion, correct?
Yes, correct. And I was the first ever, because the first year that I had done it was the first year they had even ever implemented the under 23 division.
Awesome. So cool. Congrats to you, Faith. That is awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's your favorite event it's 3-event barefooting, right? It's slalom, jump, and trick, right?
Correct. My favorite event
What's your favorite?
is slalom, more specifically back slalom. Just like the feeling of like ripping a good back slalom pass, especially in like a glassy lake.
What's your
There's, like,
PB?
no feeling like it. 14.2.
Nice. Good for you.
And then
What are the goals
so
for this year?
I want to hit 16 at nationals. And with the help of Scott and Terry Jones, is who I'm going to be training with this year in Orlando. So we've got high hopes, and we've got a good goal set. So with skiing that 14.2 at Worlds last year, so when they, since it was the first year of having under 23, then any champion would hold a world record. So then I came out of Worlds with a world record in jump and slalom, but the slalom had gotten cut down to 11.8. It's really hard to record in slalom because they go to video and go frame by frame if you're passing that wake line or not. So I got cut down to 11.8, but I still hold that.
Explain to me
then.
what 14.2 means. Like, how is it scored?
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
What's that?
So you have two 15-second passes. One passes forwards, one passes backwards. Each pass has to be on 1 foot. Well, it doesn't have to be, but to get the highest amount of score, you need to cross the wake on 1 foot. So your time starts as soon as you lift your first foot and go towards the wake, and then as soon as you cross the wake on the other side is the time that you can go back. So a whole point is by crossing the wake once.
Got it.
But if you don't fully cross out of it on video review before you start back, you might not get credit for that.
Correct. So there's certain zones. So you get like, if you start turning back, that's like where a 0.2 would come in. And then each zone is another set of points. So you don't have to, it's not an all or cross or nothing. You can get points if your timer goes off mid-cross.
So they take your 2 runs and they combine them,
Correct.
or do they take the best of one?
They combine them.
They combine them. Okay. So in 30 seconds you cross the wake 14.2 times.
Yes.
Okay, got it. And I asked that for our listeners. I mean, obviously I
Yes.
knew the answer to that. I just want to make sure everybody else did.
Obviously, Adam.
Obviously.
You obviously knew that. Well, Faith, so competitive barefooting. Now, will you stay in U23 for a while? Do you move to open women's? What does that look like in your next steps of competitive barefooting?
Yeah, so I've been able to compete in open and under 23 at the same time. Same with juniors.
Oh,
Juniors
cool.
can compete in junior and open at the same time. So now I will age out by the time of the next Worlds, because the next World is not until 2026. So I'll have aged out of under 23. So then I'll just be solely focusing on open.
All right, good for you. So let's talk about barefooting versus show skiing. Do you like one better than the other? Where's your heart?
I think my heart is still, I think I still have to say it's in show skiing, because that's just where I started, and like it's still just my whole family sport, and just like competing with a team is super different than competing by yourself. Like, yes, the Barefoot has like a Barefoot team, but you're still competing by yourself and combining your scores like a track team does. But there's nothing like competing with your show ski team. So I still have to say that's my heart, but I still do enjoy 3-event barefooting for sure.
And I'm sure you will for years. That's awesome. Well, good for you. What a great year. Adam, while they may not be in the barefoot game, Flyman Skis is certainly all in the show ski game. Jump skis, you get pairs of jumpers, single ski jumpers, back half skis, and featherboard swivel skis. Flyman Skis has everything you need.
That's right, and they are made for skiers by skiers. Their jump skis and swivel skis are fully customizable, or you can choose one of their fantastic stock designs, and they are affordable. No more paying thousands for used gear when you can get a brand new pair of Flyman skis or a featherboard swivel ski.
The jump skis are honeycomb, and they're so easy to ride. Bailey Hyatt rode hers to victory at the Send It Night jump. That was fun to watch. Join in the fun and get yourself on Flyman jump skis and featherboard swivel skis by ordering yours today at flymanskis.com. That's flymanskis.com. Faith, you weren't on here at the very beginning on our opener, but one of our sponsors today is the Aussie hosts of the World Show Ski Tournament. You spent time in Australia at SeaWorld. Talk about that and your days, the time you spent as a professional skier, particularly in Australia.
Yeah, so it's really fun, really cool experience. Sorry. I've always dreamed of becoming a professional skier just to follow my dad's footsteps. So that was always a big goal of mine. So then when the opportunity had lined up where I was Bailey's replacement essentially. I came straight from Barefoot Worlds and went straight to SeaWorld over there. And so Bailey helped train me up while I was there before she had to leave. But it was an awesome year experience, and like skiing on salt water and just skiing every day was amazing, and an amazing experience for sure.
Maybe you can help interpret the ad that we played, because Pete O'Neill does it with his very thick Australian accent, and I literally could not understand anything he said.
I think I learned
like
a new slang term like every day.
I bet you did.
There's a lot of slang in that ad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Faith, let's talk a little bit about, particularly this past season. Holy smokes, highest scoring barefoot act at D2 state and D2 nationals, being in the back barefoot line with your sister and your father, and then, of course, your individual barefooting success, two-time U23 girls world champ. What a whirlwind for you.
Yeah, it was definitely an amazing year of accomplishments. I'm super grateful. Glory to God always. He has definitely paved the way and opened up many doors for me that I could have never imagined possible. So I'm super grateful for all the opportunities and the people that are in my life that have helped me get to those spots as well.
How was it this season competing at D2 Nationals with the Aqua Skiers? You guys had a great show, both at state and nationals. Like you said, you guys kind of feel good in that D2 realm right now. You feel like that's a good fit for you. How were both of those tournaments and how were those competitions for you? Yeah,
it was super fun. Definitely my most nerve-wracking show I've ever done. I was very, very nervous at the beginning, more so for state, not as much for nationals, just because I already had state on my belt. But yes, very nervous. But it was very good to get us back to nationals again because we haven't gone to D2 nationals in a bit, and we have had a lot of new members on the team since we have gone. So many of the people, it was their first nationals experience, which is really good. And especially just to come to a tournament and not have to work it was super nice. And a lot of people didn't know what that was like either.
Do you put a lot of pressure on yourself as a skier? Like, what made you so nervous about state? Was there a certain act in the show you were nervous for? Was it what was that?
I think it was mainly just starting off the show right off the bat with back foot line because we wanted to do that in the tournament so bad together. Just super nervous for that. And then there's just a lot of pressure on my back circles just with how the act played out. With Dad announcing me as on the world's team for Barefoot and all that, I was like, okay, now I really can't fall. So I was pretty nervous for that.
Yeah, you ever like, Dad, you got to tone it down a little. Don't put so much pressure on me.
Yeah.
Well, Faith, I understand you're now coaching at the show ski school at Jack Travers.
Yes, that has been a super cool experience for sure.
When did you start that?
We opened the school after Barefoot Worlds here in mid-October is when we first kind of officially opened. But I'd found my love for coaching at the beginning of the season this year. I did some travel clinics just doing barefoot and swivel as just my summer job aside from photography. So I really fell in love with the coaching side of it. And George Hartman and I have been in talks for about 3 years about now with kind of progressing the school and our visions for it and all of that. So then now that we were finally both at a place where we were able to pursue it, it just lined up perfectly. So then we really just dove all in now and we're in full swing down here at Travers.
Is it just the two of you? Is it you and George, and you're tackling as many disciplines as you're able to teach when someone wants to come down? Talk about what the show ski school looks like for people that are listening that want to come attend.
Yeah, for sure. So yes, it's just George and I coaching at the moment. We hope to expand in the future. But our main focuses are freestyle jump, barefoot, and swivel. But both of us are very well-rounded in all of show skiing. So if there's something that we're able to teach and you want to learn, we're super happy to help and can do whatever. We have access to whatever we need. And if there's equipment we need to get, we can figure that out, especially with being so close to Winter Haven. Because we're only an hour from Winter Haven, so we can find resources there if we need help. But we have lodging on site, which is amazing, and I don't think there's any other especially show ski. There's obviously no other show ski school, and then to be able to have lodging on site, and there's so many other things on site as well. They cover your food, they cover lodging. They've got basketball court, volleyball court, ping pong, basketball, pool table, a rec room. There's a ton here, and then also to be able to ski alongside 3 event world champions. Like today, Dorian Llewellyn was here training, and Louis from France. They're number 2 and number 3 in overall 3 event right now. So they're here consistently training. So to be here with other big dogs within the sport are amazing as well. And just the amount of people that come through here that we meet is super cool.
I was going to ask about the lodging. I'm glad you said that, because now if somebody wants to come down, a family, an individual skier, whoever it is, would you envision that they would sign up for, let's say, it could be 1, 3, 5 days of coaching and training and stay on site, and they could book a package that includes lodging and food and lessons?
Yes, absolutely. And that's our main gear and pull, is we want to get families and just groups of people to come down and just be able to come and hang out and ski and just chill at the lakes for a week and just come do some skiing. So yeah, there's housing available for rent, there's houses available to rent, and then there's also a big bunkhouse, and then a specifically girls bunkhouse as well. So there's 10 sets of bunks in the girls bunkhouse, and then there's 4 rooms of 2 sets of bunks each with their bathroom for the other set of bunkhouses, and there's also RV hookups, and then like I said, the house rentals. So plenty of options for housing. So that's our biggest pull, is we want to try and get teams just send their jump team down together George really wants to get like jump teams down. If you there's not as much time to practice your team jump at home, and then especially to then pursue and work on your specific skills, this is the perfect place to do that.
Awesome. There you go. There you go,
Sounds
jumpers.
cool.
Get your whole team down there.
Yeah, girls, go down and swivel and barefoot with Faith. Like, do both. It would be so cool. That's awesome. Well, good for you. Good luck in that venture, and we hope to hear more. And we'll chat about it here on the podcast going forward, and wish you guys the best of luck with the show ski school with Jack Travers. That's great.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Faith, what advice do you have for skiers that, look up to you and they want to be like Faith?
The sky's the limit. There's never a limit to what you can accomplish. I had never even dreamt of even competing in a 3-event barefoot tournament, more or less winning the Worlds. That was not even in my wheelhouse of thinking. So if you can set literally any goal and you can achieve it, just find the steps, work backwards. There's always steps to achieve that goal. Just start small and you can make your steps. And I also realized the importance of coaching. I've pretty much swivel-wise and everything else, I could just go to either self-taught, watch videos, but I never really understood the importance of getting coaching until I was getting my barefoot coaching and realized the core stuff to help you. And it just makes everything go so much faster and easier than trying to figure it out on your own.
Yeah, I mean, you can watch YouTube videos and study people all you want, but having someone point out a little thing that you could tweak to speed up the learning process is so immensely helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now you mentioned you're going to train with Terry and Scott Jones. We like Terry Jones. She's from our neck of the woods. I skied with her back in the day here in Madison, so good luck with that. That'll be fun. Putting you on the spot here, what has been your most memorable moment in skiing?
I really do think I have to say the first time that my dad, sister, and I did our back step together. I was still living in Florida at the time, and I had taken a trip home, and my sister had just learned it. I had already done it with my dad, and Dad's like, tonight's the night, we're all here, let's just do it. So I didn't have a back step ski at the time, so I just grabbed JT's, and us three had gone out first try. We had a follow boat to help film, and yeah, it was great. It was so cool. I didn't
Calm
want to
night on
ever.
Lake Wazicha?
On the river, actually.
On the river. Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a memory that will live forever. I'm sure you got that picture framed somewhere. Video.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. Good for you.
Faith, what's next? What does the future hold for you?
I don't know. Pretty much open-ended. I'm always open to anything and whatever the next path that will lead me. I'm so go with the flow, and if there's an opportunity, I will take it. But I really want to just help grow the ski school and future plans with that to help continue to grow that every year. We've been partnering with a lot of people, especially Flyman Skis are one of our partners as well, and we've partnered with Legacy Skis as well. So we'll have all those jumpers available to use, and we already have our Flymans. Those are already ready to roll. And then, Legacy Skis are on their way. We were partnered with Barefoot International as well, so we have wetsuits already here available to use for that. Huxley & Company is helping us as well. They're going to be wrapping all of our skis for a custom show ski school wrap. We'll be holding their clothing here too. Fort Fremont Marine is helping us a lot as well with everything, especially my clinics, and then helping get some BI equipment too. And then obviously Jack Travers for hosting us. There's nothing that none of this would have been possible without them, that's for sure. But otherwise, other than the ski school and then show directing at home for next summer, I just want to help excel people at my home team too. I want to be able to be there for them as well as do my clinics throughout the summer. I'll still be busy doing that. But then with show directing too, I want to help that. And I've always kind of been interested in show directing. But then this year it was like no one else really wanted to. So I was like, well, I guess it's my time. So I took it on, and I'm excited.
Well, you're going to do great. Congratulations to you on all your successes.
For sure.
We've been a fan just watching you and your rise in this sport, and knowing your family over the years. It's been so fun to see where you've gone and where you've taken your career, and we're excited to see where it goes next and what the next phases are for Faith, because you're killing it right now. Keep doing your thing, and keep smiling, because the future's bright for you, and we love watching where you're headed.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks for being on the show today, Faith.
Thanks, Faith.
Adam, that was fun.
Absolutely. Like, holy smokes. Like, she goes from going to Florida to record videos for the World Barefoot Center, and less than 2 years later, she's a world champion.
Yeah.
Like,
she could, like
what?
Long line front deep, and she's a world champ. She's an awesome swivel skier. She's a great showmanship. You heard how many acts she's running in that show. She's a superstar for the Aqua Skiers.
Wow.
She's had a fantastic season, and there's a reason why she's nominated so many times in our podcast awards, because it's well deserved, because she's had quite the year.
Yeah, for sure. And her advice to skiers is get a coach, which makes a ton of sense. And guess what? She's a coach. Show ski school at Jack Travers, freestyle jumping, barefooting, swivel skiing, and kneeboarding. Kidding about the kneeboarding, but I'm sure if you gave her one in less than a year, she'd be a world champion. So,
probably.
Yeah, who knows?
Yep.
Just a reminder, if you have not seen our top 5 nominees, it is posted. Find it, check it out, and tickets are on sale for the award show and for Think Tank. Don't wait. Get your tickets now.
Yeah, they're cheaper now than they will be. This is early bird pricing window right now. You can bundle everything together for Think Tank and get a better price. Make sure you're there. We want to see all your faces at that award show. Congrats to all of our nominees in all the categories. Well deserved. I'm excited to see who wins these awards at Think Tank. Thank you to the World Show Ski Tournament for being one of our presenting sponsors today. If you can make that trip to Australia, do it. You won't regret it. And thank you to Flyman Skis, custom-made jump skis, featherboard swivel skis at affordable prices. Get yours at flymanskis.com.
And thanks to all of our listeners. This is Matt and Adam, and this is The Ski Show.
Thank you for listening to The Ski Show, the ultimate show ski podcast with Matt and Adam. If you have questions or ideas for the show, find us on social media or message us at theskishowpodcast@gmail.com.